Resources for women in film and entertainment. Women's art resources at womenartsandcurlie.org. Womenarts.org, the fund for women artists. womenarts.org/women's-employment-in-the-arts. Nonprofit arts service organization dedicated to increasing the diversity and employment of women in theater, film, video and other art forms. Women's arts blogs at blogfeed.womenarts.org. womenarts.org/blog. audiosbarbie.com/blog. arlenegoldbard.com. artfagcity.com. bjanepr.wordpress.com/about. sfbiareaactor.blogspot.com. beyondasiaphilia.wordpress.com. bitchmagazine.org/blogs. blogthisrock.blogspot.com. bodylogue.blogspot.com. brightnewday.wordpress.com. clarelight.typepad.com. clubdefam.blogspot.com. artsjournal.com/culturegirl. epicalips.com. thefbum.org. feministing.com. gorellsounds.com. gorillagirlsuntour.blogspot.com. inthemidstofmemory.blogspot.com. scribe-kunstblog.blogspot.com. mofoartist.livejournal.com. seeingblack.com. steadytoffilm.typepad.com. thatlittleblackbook.blogspot.com. thebrooklynsocialite.wordpress.com. feministspectator.blogspot.com. thehotpinkpen.com. mediajustice.wordpress.com. lanelmaease.blogspot.com. wellywoodwoman.blogspot.com. womenandhollywood.blogspot.com. worksbywomen.wordpress.com. worksbywomensf.wordpress.com. Women arts and entertainment subcategories at curlie.org/n/society/people/women/arts_and_entertainment. Business organizations. WIFT. Events. Architecture. Comics. Literature. Movies. Music. Theater. Visual arts. Women arts and entertainment websites at curlie.org/n/society/people/women/arts_and_entertainment. ada-x.org, AdaX. An artist-run resource center for women exploring and challenging aspects of new media technologies. Montreal, Quebec, Canada. departments.bucknell.edu/stadler_center/how-to, online journal dedicated to modernist and innovative works of writing, visual art, and multimedia undertaken by women. Facebook.com/realwomen, Real Women. Non-profit organization formed for the purposes of developing a permanent support system for women at all levels of experience in the film and video industries. UK. FamousCreativeWomen.com, Famous Creative Women. Archive of articles about women in the arts. FemalePersUazion.net, Female Persuasion, a creative environment made up of female artists exploring through art what it means to be a woman today. StudioXX.org, Studio XX, an artist-run resource center for women exploring and challenging aspects of new media technologies. WeAOnline.org, Women in the Arts Incorporated. Womenfolk.com, Womenfolk, Women, and Creativity Through Quilting and Other Mediums in History and the Present. Women's Career Websites. mscareergirl.com, Ms. Career Girl, Career Building Tips, Motivational Advice. askmen.com/money/career/16_career.html, askmen.com, Women in the Workplace, Men Dealing with Women in the Workplace. EOC.org, Euro-American Women's Council, attempts to aid women business owners and executives by building alliances between the private sector and government while providing groundbreaking research to document the economic and social contributions of women-owned firms. Angelfire.com/me3/thoughts/index12.html, Mysterious Woman, Discrimination in the Workplace, a place for women to meet other women that are and have been discriminated against while at work. Women's Small Business Organizations. ICD.org, International Center for Entrepreneurship and Career Development. Alchemy.com, Alchemy. This site helps women become successful small business owners by providing value, inspiration, and direction to women starting up. AmberGrantsForWomen.com, WomenSnet.net, quarterly grants offered for women-owned businesses and women entrepreneurs. AmiraAlvarez.com, Amira Alvarez, offers mentorship for creative women entrepreneurs. ElizabethPottsweinstein.com, EPW Small Business Law PC, teaches women small business owners and entrepreneurs tools to experience holistic wealth. Entrepreneurialwoman.ca, Entrepreneurial Woman Magazine. Entrepreneurial Woman Magazine is an online magazine for and about Canadian women in business. Everywoman.com, Every Woman, provides women in business with the resources, advice, and tools for business success. FBWN.org.uk, Forest Business Women's Network, a network of both fledgling and established companies within and around the Forest of Dean area. LadiesWhoLaunch.com, Ladies Who Launch, online community for women business owners emphasizing entrepreneurship and creativity. NABO.org, National Association of Women Business Owners, NABO. NAM.org.my, National Association of Women Entrepreneurs of Malaysia, NAWAN, an organization established with the purpose of harnessing the capabilities and resources of women entrepreneurs for the encouragement and enhancement of women's role in business. OneWomanMarketing.com, One Woman Marketing, free resources on marketing for women and marketing to women, including a podcast and twice-monthly newsletter. WFEHouston.org, Women's Finance Exchange of Houston, helps develop professional women working in financial areas by providing networking and learning opportunities. WindEnterprises.com, Wind Enterprises, offers leadership conferences and seminars promoting self-empowerment for professional women and career mothers. Womanowned.com, Woman-Owned, networking opportunities and information for women interested in starting and growing a business. WomenAboutBiz.com, Women About Biz. Women About Biz provides small business startup and growth resources, virtual networking and teleclasses for women entrepreneurs. WomenHomeBusiness.com, Women Home Business, success tips, personal stories, and other information for women with home-based businesses. WomensNetwork.com.au, Women's Network Australia, membership networking organization for women in business, provides activities and benefits supported by live networking events, online services, educational forums, and consulting services. Renworks.org, the Women's Rural Entrepreneurial Network, a network of rural women entrepreneurs providing training, marketing collaborations, and networking opportunities. Women in Media Business Organization websites. Angelfire.com/New Jersey 3/Rowan WIC, Women in Communications at Rowan University, information on officers, chapter activities, and meetings, with newsletter and photos. AWSMonline.org, AWSM, the Association for Women in Sports Media, dedicated to the advancement of women in sports media-related fields. IAWRT.org, the International Association of Women in Radio and Television, international organization of professional women actively engaged in the production and management of programs in the electronic media or broadcasting. IWMF.org, International Women's Media Foundation, IWMF, programs designed to move women into key positions in the news media by providing them with the information, skills, and connections they need to succeed. NewsWomen'sClubNewYork.com, News Women's Club of New York, for women journalists in the New York metropolitan area, including newspapers, magazines, radio, television, and new media. SoCalWICT.org, Women in Cable and Telecommunications Southern California, membership, meetings, awards, job board, and links to industry resources. WCT-FCT.com, Advancing Women in Canada, national not-for-profit organization supports the advancement of women in the communications field, providing information and services. WICT.org, Women in Cable Telecommunications, WICT. WICTDCBalt.org, WICTDC/Baltimore, Events Calendar, Industry Links, Membership Information, and Newsletter. WICTPhiladelphia.org, Women in Cable and Telecommunications, Philadelphia. WICTRM.org, Rocky Mountain Chapter of Women in Cable and Telecommunications, WICT, Denver. WIPP.org, Women's Institute for Freedom of the Press, Research, Education, and Publishing Organization, to increase communication among women and reach the public with women's experience, perspectives, and opinions. WOMCOM.org, Association for Women in Communications. WomenInPhotography.org, Women in Photography International, promotes the visibility of women photographers and their work. WomensMediaGroup.org, Women's Media Group, WMG, provides a forum for networking, career development and advocacy for women who have achieved prominence in the many fields of media. Women's movie websites. let.uu.nl/women's_studies/Annika/filmtheory.html, Smolik, Feminist Film Theory, An Introduction to the Discipline. myth.umd.edu/women's studies/film reviews, Women's Studies Database, Film Reviews, Selection of Full-Text Feminist Film Reviews. muse.jhu.edu/journal/35, Camera Obscura, Feminist Perspectives on Film, Television, and Visual Media. upperz.umn.edu/book/c/carson_multiple.html, Multiple Voices in Feminist Film Criticism, description of a book that offers a comprehensive survey of the work done in the discipline over the last 2 decades. people.virginia.edu/tilde/pm9k/libci/womfilm.html, Women in Cinema, a reference guide. WMM.com, Women Make Movies, national nonprofit feminist media arts organization whose multicultural programs provide resources for both users and producers of media by women. WFFIS.or.kr, Women's Film Festival in Seoul, located in Seoul, Korea. Women's radio websites. AmazonRadio.com, Amazon Radio, women's music for all who color outside the lines. Heard on WPKN in Bridgeport, CT. Home to the National Women's Radio Archives, playlists, events, and women's music links. music.minnesota.publicradio.org/features/0102_instrumental women/index.shtml, Instrumental Women, Minnesota Public Radio program about women musicians in the United States and their contributions to classical music. SatelliteSisters.com, Satellite Sisters Radio, radio show featuring 5 sisters talking about women and real life. Women's theater websites. GorillaGirlsOnTour.com, Gorilla Girls on Tour, activist theater collective whose mission is to create performances and workshops that address sexism and racism across the globe and prove that feminists are funny. spec.lib.miamio.edu/home/NAPA, Native American Women Playwrights Archive. NAPA hopes to identify playwrights, collect and preserve their work, try to make it widely known and encourage performances and continued creativity. TheMagdalenaProject.org, The Magdalena Project, international network of women in contemporary theater, hosting festivals, events, workshops, and publications. Women's visual art websites. Abrahams.wordpress.com, Annie Abrahams, she is known worldwide for her net art and collective writing experiments and networked performance art. ACHA-Kutzker.com, Maria Acha Kutcher, a Peruvian artist, who defines herself as a feminist visual artist. AdeleGriffin.com, Adele Griffin, young adult book writer and photographer, Adele Griffin. AdrianPiper.com, Opera Foundation Berlin, site of conceptual artist and philosopher Adrian Piper. Amy-Alexander.com, Amy Alexander, new media, audiovisual and performance artist who has also worked in film, video, music, and information technology. Anka.8m.com, Anka Laxer, a site presenting information about the artist and the combination of two complementary disciplines, art and poetry, both equally important ways of expressing her creativity. Archive-it.org/collection/2973, Contemporary Women Artists on the Web, a listing of contemporary women artists on the web. artcyclopedia.com/artists/women.html, Artcyclopedia, Women Artists, dedicated to women's art history, listing over 850 artists from antiquity to present. arthistoryarchive.com/arthistory/feminist/20th-century_feministartists.html, Art History Archive, Feminist Artists of the 20th Century, a library about different artistic movements, art groups, and specific artists. AstudioOfTheirOwn.org, a studio of their own, documents the foundation of the nation's first feminist art education program at Fresno State University in 1970 and its enduring legacy in contemporary art. BarbaraNessim.com, Barbara Nessim, Barbara was recently appointed the first Artists Laureate by the Norman Rockwell Museum in Stockbridge, MA. Blogs.IndieWire.com/Women and Hollywood, Women and Hollywood IndieWire, one of the most respected sites for issues related to women and film as well as other areas of pop culture. CLA.Purdue.edu/YAW, Women Artists of the American West, a collection of thousands of high-resolution images, plus statements from the artists, biographical sketches, critical historical essays, and bibliographies. collectionscanada.gc.ca/women/03001-1150-e.html, Women Artists in Canada, works of art by women artists in diverse media, plus biographical information about the artists, essays, and a bibliography. CressidaSTransformations.com, Cressidas Transformations, Kathleen Notman, write and author. CynthiaBrodyArt.com, Cynthia Brody Mixed Media Art, women are the focal point of most pieces. elupton.com, Ellen Lupton, curator of contemporary design at Cooper Hewitt, National Design Museum in New York City and director of the Graphic Design MFA program at Maryland Institute College of Art, MICA, in Baltimore. Facebook.com/women's-art-resource-center-4122289932186210, Women's Art Resource Center, artist-run Toronto exhibition gallery dedicated to the advancement of contemporary Canadian women's art practice. feministartproject.rutgers.edu, the Feminist Art Project, FAIR is a network of art programs on women and gender. feministstudies.org/artgallery.html, Feminist Studies Art Gallery, art featured in the latest issues of the Feminist Studies Journal, one of the oldest feminist publication in the United States, founded in 1972. figurationfeminine.blogspot.com.br, Figuration Feminine, blog of an artist, about women artists who paint women. GorillaGirls.com, Gorilla Girls, a group of female artists, writers, performers, and other arts professionals who fight discrimination through humor, activism and the arts. home.earthlink.net/%7airbeard/selma1.html, Selma Whitebeard, Selma Beard, artist, teacher, writer, grandmother lives and works in Atlanta, Georgia and St. Simons Island, GA. ImogenCunningham.com, Imogen Cunningham Trust, preserving the artist's work, managing her rights and permissions and promoting her photographs through publications and exhibitions. JudyChicago.com, Judy Chicago, feminist art, including painting and needlework. LalaSada.com, Lala Sadie, her work has been exhibited in many major international locales and is represented in a number of collections, including the Williams College Museum of Art, the Art Institute of Chicago, the Fries Museum, the Netherlands, and the Kodak Museum of Art. LouiseNevelson Foundation.org, Louise Nevelson Foundation, site of the foundation dedicated to the life and work of Louise Nevelson and established by the artist's granddaughter. LucidPlanet.com/IWA, Iowa Women Artists Oral History Project. Through recorded interviews, this project preserves the voices of women visual artists in Iowa, reflecting on their lives and their artwork. My-Hudson.org, Marina Abramovic Institute, founded by Marina Abramovic and will serve as her legacy and homage to time-based and immaterial art. MetaNMASR.com/n/printer-friendly.aspx ? Article ID = 261, Women in Graffiti, a tribute to the women of Egypt. Article about street art research in Egypt done by women or about women. NMWA.org, National Museum of Women in the Arts, bringing to light remarkable women artists of the past while also promoting the best women artists working today. Putrafeathers.com, Putra Feathers Art, creations of natural art using the feathers of exotic birds to produce earthy landscapes. React-Feminism.org/prog_overview.php, React.Feminism, Historical Archive of Feminist Performance touring Europe since 2011. SallyMann.com, Sally Mann, US-based writer and photographer. SandySkoglund.com, Sandy Skoglund art site, home site of the artist Sandy Skoglund with images of recent work, including installation views. Society-women-artists.org.uk, the Society of Women Artists group has held an annual exhibition in London of the work of women artists ever since 1857. sugswritersblog.blogspot.co.uk, Sugs Writers Blog, Susan Gilbert's blog. veroregistry.org, the Vero Registry of Women Artists, an online gallery of artwork and research material on contemporary international women artists. veryscarycarnival.20m.com, Art by Accident, a virtual sideshow of creepy, funny, sometimes beautiful, and usually curious canvases. Arthistoryarchive.com %2 Fart History %2 Feminist %2 F20th Century _feminist artists.html. Wendy.com/women/artists.html, Women Artists in History, a space to showcase the work of women artists down through the centuries. WomenArtRevolution.com, Women Art Revolution, a film by Lynn Hirschman Leeson reveals how the feminist art movement transformed the art and culture of our times. WomenOutWest.blogspot.com.br, Women Out West, Art on the Edge of America, a blog about 19th and 20th century female artists working in the western United States, created by artist, art historian, and educator, Victoria Sunstagard. WomensMuseumCA.org, Women's Museum of California, founded in 1983 as the Women's History Reclamation Project, it is a non-profit organization, with a mission to educate and inspire present and future generations about the experiences and contributions of women. WSWorkshop.org, Women's Studio Workshop, founded in 1974 by 4 women artists who were committed to developing an alternative space for artists to create new work and to come together to share skills.